Howdy mates, here's the last video I wanted to make for today. So I'm out at the Roger Presley trail, which runs along the famed Great Miami River. And the Great Miami River is one of the main rivers that you can find in the state of Ohio. And the Great Miami takes up a grand portion of western Ohio. So as you can see at this little portion here, you can see that it meanders. So it's all the way back there, and it kind of behaves a little bit like a snake, and it winds up straightening itself back out once again. So as I was mentioning in my past couple of videos when I was talking about Charleston Falls, you have to think at one point the bedrock met exactly with this river. However, the rate of erosion was very high, as to the point of where it's 5,000 feet away, approximately. But yeah, as I was talking about in the past, this plant here, it's an invasive one known as the lesser celandine, also called the fig buttercup. It practically fills the entire area. It practically acts like a blanket. And so, method of control is actually quite difficult on this plant because they have bulbs on them, similar to that of potatoes, for instance, or tulips. And they can just spread so quickly. So you can see, like, there is no other form of wild flowers that are native anyways. But yeah, it's just a problem to control it too, because it's also an ephemeral. So it only lasts for a very short period. But the headwaters of the Great Miami River are approximately around the Indian Lake State Park, or close to the area, probably by the means of an artesian well, which is basically pressure built up from underground, and then it seeps out water. It's basically like a spring. You may also be wondering too, you see this foundation here. This once used to be a bridge that went over this river here, and probably somewhere in that land patch is where you can find the other end of the bridge, possibly. I mean, I could be wrong, but at one point there was a bridge that went over this. Now, in terms of knowing more of the history behind it, I don't really know, but I'm sure a lot of the Tip City locals know about it. And personally, I really like Tip City. It's a very quaint town, very old-fashioned, with plenty of cultural history. Kind of ironic, Tip City is also known as Tippecanoe, and in geologic time, going back to the Ordovician period, there actually was a shallow marine sea called the Tippecanoe Sea. That was cool. I did a little bit of a rhyme there. That was neat. Yeah, you can see a lot of these trees are beginning to bloom too, like the American sycamore and even the Ohio buckeye to my left. Oh yeah. And I've already started feeling some of the effects of allergies too. Yeah, that was kind of expected. But hopefully not too much erosion happens either, because at some points on the trail it's practically right on the edge. So like if you were to take a misstep, you would fall right into the river. But the trail network was built by Roger Presley, and as I mentioned, I've rattled his name before. He's a well-known community member of Tip City. And what he decided to do was he wanted to build this whole mile-long trail network for people like myself to enjoy. And it took him a couple years to do it. He basically had to remove any excessive bush, honeysuckle. And he laid out most of this mulch here with some volunteers in the past. But you could say this area is now recognized as a community park, as it was enacted through the city. Yeah, he's a good man. He's a very good man. Probably one of the kindest men I've ever met. Definitely, he's an old-fashioned hippie. But I don't know, though. I don't like to just label individuals, though. I go by more than that. I go by the character of people. And, you know, that's a piece of advice I offer, too. But it's alright. You know, I kind of went all over the place with this video, but as always, plenty to incorporate into a video, right? Alright, mates. Enjoy your Sunday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.